Hello, me again, and Andy Wright here. Yeah, that's me. I forgot. I've just told you who I am, and then I said hello, it's me. Can't win, really. Yes, talking really. And the story is about this guy. Who is he? He is Mr. Tutiakia and Stasi Starmer. Yes, Labour budget. Did you hear it? I couldn't be bothered with it. It's all a pack of lies based upon stuff that is basically made up. He says one thing and then does another. I mean, I've already highlighted this in other videos. But as you can see, he is a World Economic Forum representative. He is following the agenda. For those of you who do not understand the agenda and what's coming, it's coming very, very slowly, but actually is speeding up quite a lot since he took over. He is pushing the idea of the one world government run by this unelected, undemocratic sort of society that they have in what they call it is stakeholder funding, i.e. it's run by private organisations, but they are in charge of whole countries. They have this agenda called 2030, or even now it's 2050, because they could not achieve that. The World Economic Forum have their own website. So as we know, this guy is a WEF agent and he is pushing the narrative, and the narrative is to have a one world government and to control you with digital ID, digital currency. There'll be no cash, so everything you have and everything you spend will be tracked and controlled. So if they don't like what you spend it on, like if you're buying too many pizzas, then they can stop you from buying that. Control. And there will be a sort of a point system. Now, a lot of us out there, with our tinfoil hats on, we've been saying this for a long time, but people don't believe us for some reason. But if you look hard enough, you'll see that it's all coming through. And if you're happy being controlled, and I mean that, if you look back about, 2 or 3 years, how you were controlled. You can't go outside for more than 1 hour, and you can't go shopping. You have to stand 6 feet apart. You have to wear a nappy on your face if you want to go outside, or inside even. And all of that stuff was actually later proven to be a load of rubbish. People complied because they thought they had to. And that's all control. It's a narcissistic system of communism. But what really gets me is that we're letting it happen. Well, I say we. I mean, there are a majority who are, but there are a growing minority who are saying no more. This will end when we say no. Trust me, and you can say no. It's perfectly acceptable to say no more. But you have to stand up, like not physically stand up, because obviously if you're in a wheelchair, then you won't be able to do that. But physically, mentally, emotionally, stand up for yourself. Say no. It's actually quite invigorating and quite empowering. But it's quite scary too that you say no to somebody. They might get very, very upset. That's on them, isn't it? That's on them. Especially because you're not doing what you're told. And I am a rebel. I never liked somebody telling me what I can and cannot do. I mean, they told me, oh, you can't walk. You won't be able to walk ever. That was the doctor. And then they said, oh no, you'll never get a job. And that was the employment officer So, and then you'll never get married. All of that's wrong. Now, this guy obviously is a proven liar. Actually, proven liar by his own evidence. Various organisations, including this one, World Economic Forum. By the way, if you want a t-shirt, then have a look on my website, andywrightshop.co.uk. Get yourself a nice t-shirt. Yes, so let's have a look at this guy. This guy was on TikTok.
I think we should all learn about the Prime Minister's speech this morning. No doubt about it. He was trying to deceive you, the British public. Again, he told you that the reason he's got to make difficult choices such as raid the pensioners' winter fuel allowance, or not raid it, but make it means tested, thereby taking about 10 million pensioners out of it, is because the Conservatives left a 20 billion pound black hole in the economy that he didn't know about before. Well, actually, Prime Minister, let's be honest about this, shall we? You and your government made a very deliberate decision to spend 11.6 billion pounds on helping other countries to deal with their climate challenges. And you also decided, a choice of yours, to spend £9 billion on public sector pay increases. That's 20.6 billion right there, Prime Minister. That's your black hole. It's not the Conservatives who've made that black hole, it's you. The choices you've made. So be honest about that. Then in May this year, you stood up in the House of Commons, you condemned the then Conservative government for even considering means testing the winter fuel allowance, and now you're doing it yourself. Is it any wonder people think that you've got double standards? Every second sentence in your speech this morning referred to the rot in society and the riots. We know which riots you're talking about, but there is rot in every community. There are bad apples throughout society, too many of them. And as a former police officer, I totally support your aim to ensure that anybody who is involved in public disorder, assaults, affray, criminal damage and so on should meet the full force of the law. I totally support that. But when I was a police officer, I never applied double standards. Where is your condemnation, Prime Minister, of the disorder and the violence that we saw in the Notting Hill Carnival? 35 police officers injured, 230 odd arrests made, 5 stabbings, a number of people fighting for their lives in hospital as a result, numerous drugs and sex offences. Where's your condemnation of all that, Prime Minister? Now, I think the problem here is you are listening to a social, urban, liberal elite, a woke elite in their wine bars and their little gastropubs in the quiet, affluent little communities of London, where it's all nice, and they're all saying that anybody who's concerned about immigration and the impact on the economy, housing, etc., is down to racism.
Right, that's all I've got to say about that. He is Mr. Starmer is a complete liar. And he does need to go. But will he go? It's up to you. Just say no. And let's get him out. That's it from me. Have a very good day. Catch you later. Bye for now.